Welcome to the first edition of the 300 podcasts. Today I'm joined by Omar Oakes of Media Leader, and today we're going to turn it on its head where Omar is going to be interviewing me to give you guys a bit more insight about who 300 is, why we exist, and what we're actually going to be doing. So welcome, Omar.
Thank you for having me, Patrick. Tell me why you've decided to launch this particular series, this 300 series, when there are so many podcasts, B2B podcasts even nowadays. What kind of conversations do you hope to have going forward?
It's all wrapped up into the conversation around growth. And I say we talk about holistic growth. So it's about the single-minded proposition of an agency, what they're saying, where they say it, how that feeds into long-term prospecting strategies. You're 3 times more likely to win a pitch that you've prospected and you know the client. Then how that single-minded proposition then lands in your pitch. So for anything you go into, you're almost already halfway there because you're really clear on who you are, what you're about, what makes you distinct from the market. And then round, as I say, to the assets that you create. So all of the conversations are going to be about the one thing that every agency wants, whether you are publicly owned, privately listed or equity backed, everybody wants growth. But on the whole, agencies do not have a growth capability built within their organization. So we're thinking if we're giving them tips, tricks, insights into having a better capability, that's what the podcast is meant to do.
Okay, so the question you must get asked off the bat all the time, where's the name 300 come from?
So if we split our work into thirds, the first third is about exploration, where you're exploring what the challenge is. You put 100% of your available time into that. The second third is preparation. You're bringing it all together to distill your thinking, and you put 100% of your time into that. And the final third is the bit that makes a difference and wins the pitches. So if we can automate those first 2/3 and take those two 100% and put them into that final third, you're putting 300% of your effort into the bit that actually makes a difference. So our proprietary AI system called Neo allows us to automate those 2/3 so we can put all of our brain power into that final third.
Do you think this is the toughest it's ever been, that the whole pitch process, whether you're marketer side or agency side?
It's a bit like in the world of trading. People are saying it's a race to the bottom. They've said that for 20 years. And in the world of pitches, people say the pitch process is broken. And they've been saying that for sort of a very long time. Pitches are tough. You know, I think they're hard on clients. You know, just think if you're a marketing client, you need to understand media, creative, CRM, PR, branding. You know, I can barely keep up with media and all I do is media. So it's quite tough on clients to really be up to date on all of these different elements within marketing, which is why it comes back to an agency. If you give a client a single-minded proposition in every piece of comms they receive, you give them a pitch that is based around that with a narrative that takes them on a journey, which is quite simple. When they've left the room and they've done 5 of these and each one's 3 hours long, they probably will remember almost nothing about any of them, apart from that group where I just walked out and I felt really good about them. I felt that they were kind of a bunch of people I'd like to work with. You get that. Process sounds boring. You get that by having a really rigorous pitch process that allows everybody to be brilliant. They know where they need to be, when they need to be, how they need to show up. Everybody is looked after and they turn up relaxed. And, you know, changing slides on the taxi on the way over, or staying up till 2 a.m, or none of that should ever happen on a pitch, ever. All it does is wear people out, and they turn up, you know, kind of like shaking because they've had so much coffee and so little sleep.
I found that extraordinary when you talk about agencies generally not having growth capability. I mean, it must be more, I mean, you're offering a technical solution that's going to help with that. It sounds like it runs deeper than that, a cultural issue. What's behind that?
Agencies are tending not to have a long-term strategic vision on their growth. And long-term could even just be a year. Most agencies aren't really even looking at that. Pitch for everything, throw it at the wall, hopefully some of it will stick. I think if you pick 3 in a year, you might win 2, but most agencies are going for 10 and they don't win any, or they win 1. So it's just how you orchestrate your resources.
Patrick, thank you so much.
Thank you, Omar.